Welcome to the Deep Dive.
Where we kind of clear out all the clutter.
And bring you the healthcare and technology news that really matters.
The stuff you actually need to know.
Today we're going deep on some breaking news.
Oh, yeah, and some big industry trends.
And even some political stuff that
that could have a real impact.
on your life.
Absolutely.
We've got headlines from
All
sources like Ramon Healthcare, KevinMD.com.
Becker's Hospital Review, all the big names.
So let's get started.
Let's jump in.
All right, one thing that just keeps...
Popping up, right.
Yeah, it's impossible to ignore all the news about.
AI.
AI in healthcare.
Everywhere you look.
It seems like every day there's some new...
breakthrough.
or a new application.
Oh, absolutely.
What do you...
What do I think?
yeah, is it all hype or...
I don't think it's hype.
I
I
don't
think
know.
we're
Yeah.
seeing a real shift
Okay.
towards making AI, practical.
More usable.
Usable. Yeah.
For everyday
Exactly.
providers.
The DigitalOcean, for example.
Oh, yeah.
So they're launching this platform
Well,
designed to make AI agent creation way easier.
so it's not just the,
The big guys,
the big tech companies, the research institutions.
it's not just them leading the charge anymore.
We could see,
A whole wave of innovation.
coming from much smaller,
Absolutely.
yes,
Think smaller clinics, startups.
even individual practices.
Exactly. Your local clinic could be using AI
Wow.
for diagnostics, personalized treatments.
That's the kind of future
That's where we're headed.
that's pretty amazing.
It is.
And it's not just about,
Making it easier to use.
making it more accessible.
Right.
We're also seeing big healthcare systems
Like UW Medicine.
successfully using AI,
Yep, they've got these AI-powered decision support systems.
and they achieved.
HIMSS Stage 6.
So for those who don't know,
What does that even mean?
what does that mean?
HIMSS Stage 6 basically means they're using technology
In a really advanced way.
in a sophisticated way. Yeah,
You
very
improve patient care,
and make things more efficient.
streamline operations, the whole 9 yards.
I see. And then there's this,
This new thing.
this new thing I keep hearing about.
Retrieval augmented generation. RAG. Yeah.
Sounds,
Complicated.
a little bit.
It is, but think of it like this.
Okay.
You're giving, a chat GPT.
A powerful language model.
Right. But you're giving it a medical textbook.
Okay.
So it's got this specialized knowledge,
So instead of just,
general knowledge.
yeah,
It's got expertise.
medical expertise,
You can tap into that.
that could really change how accurate
Oh, yeah.
these AI diagnoses are.
Diagnoses, treatments,
Wait,
the whole thing.
That kind of precision with health information is
Crucial.
crucial, yeah.
Absolutely.
But all this talk about AI and all this data, it does make you think about
Data privacy,
security.
big time. And unfortunately, we've got
A real-world example.
of those concerns playing out right now.
The Change Healthcare breach.
It was initially thought to affect
100 million people.
felt like that, yeah.
It's actually almost double that.
Really?
Almost 190 million people.
Wow.
Biggest breach in U.S. history.
It really shows how
Vulnerable,
vulnerable our data is.
even in 2025.
And what makes it even more concerning is that
It's not just a one-off.
it points to some
Systemic issues.
with how we manage patient consent and data sharing.
The Sequoia Project, they just released a report.
I saw that, yeah.
And they basically outline how, the regulations are complex,
Uh-huh.
workflows are inefficient,
There are technology gaps.
but it all creates these hurdles.
So making sure patient consent is
Tinless
secure.
and secure.
Yeah. It's almost like our systems are making it harder
Not easier.
to protect patient data.
Yeah.
We need some.
Standardized approaches
More automated, for sure.
for data sharing, yeah.
To make sure it's both secure
Absolutely.
and efficient.
Both.
While we're talking about making healthcare more accessible,
And efficient.
we can't forget about telehealth,
Digital health.
all the
Innovation's happening there. It's
Yeah.
a rapidly growing area.
There was this story about
Doctors.
doctors, a Japanese company
Digital healthcare company.
that wants to expand to the US.
Yeah, they want to offer their services to U.S. providers.
Interesting.
It shows this growing international interest in digital health.
It's not
It's
just
a U.S. thing.
Yeah, it's crossing borders.
It's global.
It's really interesting.
But it does raise some questions, right?
Like what?
How do you ensure access to the technology
Yeah, for patients in different countries.
for everyone?
Different levels of
Infrastructure.
Infrastructure, yeah.
And then there's privacy.
Across borders.
How do you maintain that?
That's a big challenge.
As telehealth expands, these are things we have to figure out.
Okay, let's
Shift gears a bit.
let's talk about genomics.
Life sciences.
It seems like there are so many.
Groundbreaking advancements happening all the time.
They're constantly pushing the boundaries of
Personalized medicine.
drug discovery.
It's
The
incredible.
work that AMD is doing
High-performance computing.
is a great example.
That technology is driving these breakthroughs in,
Genomic sequencing.
which is opening the door to more personalized medicine.
Imagine a future where treatments are,
Tailored to your DNA.
that's
That's
the goal.
that's amazing.
It is.
But it makes you think about the
Ethical
sort
considerations.
of ethical side of things, yeah.
We have to think about genetic testing
Data privacy.
in this context.
Making sure everyone has access to these treatments.
That's a big one.
It's incredible, but we have to.
Navigate it carefully.
Yeah, be careful.
Absolutely.
Let's look at some broader trends.
Yeah, broader industry trends
Policy changes.
that are shaping healthcare right now.
One of the biggest is the push towards value-based care.
We keep hearing about that.
It's gaining momentum.
What is that? Exactly.
So basically, a lot of major health systems, they're moving away from incremental changes in value-based care.
They're going all in.
They're embracing payment models
Okay.
that prioritize outcomes.
Over volume.
Yeah, so they're getting rewarded for keeping patients healthy.
Not sure.
We're doing more procedure.
Yeah, that seems like a positive,
It's a big step.
a more patient-centered system.
Yeah, and more
Cost-effective.
cost-effective for sure.
It has the potential,
It does.
but it requires a real shift.
In how healthcare providers,
Think and practice,
we have to make sure this transition
It's done right.
doesn't have a negative impact on patient care.
Or create unnecessary burdens on providers.
We can't talk about healthcare without.
Politics, right? Politics, exactly.
And with the new Trump administration, there are definitely some
changes
big changes.
that are causing some debate.
One of the most talked about is the hiring freeze.
At the VA.
The VA, yeah.
But there are exemptions, right?
For over 300,000 healthcare positions, yeah.
So it's not a...
Complete freeze.
The administration says it's to
Curb spending.
curb spending.
But some people are worried.
About access for veterans.
Healthcare, yeah.
And then there's the,
The freeze on communications.
the freeze on health agency communications.
No updates to the CDC website.
No news releases from the NIH.
It's making people nervous.
What do you think about it?
I think transparency is important.
Especially now.
With all the misinformation out there,
People need to be able to trust
that they're getting accurate information.
from reliable sources.
Like the CDC, the NIH.
It feels like a step backwards
It does.
for public health communication.
We'll be watching that closely.
And speaking of public health concerns,
There's a maternal health crisis.
that's a big one.
Ascension has been really vocal about it.
And rightly so.
The U.S. has a really high,
Maternal mortality rate.
way too high.
Especially compared to other developed countries.
It's unacceptable.
There's so many factors.
Lack of access to prenatal care.
Racial disparities
Underlying health conditions.
that aren't being addressed.
It's a complex issue.
We need better,
More comprehensive care.
more equitable maternal health care services
Absolutely.
to really tackle this.
This isn't just a healthcare issue.
It's a societal issue.
It affects everyone.
Okay, let's move on to,
Pharma,
the pharmaceutical industry.
always a hot topic.
It's interesting to see how they're reacting to the new administration.
There's a lot of cautious optimism.
Cautious optimism.
They're hoping for some policy changes.
Under President Trump.
Yeah, they want to see less focus on cracking down on
Drug prices.
pharmacy benefit managers, all that.
And more emphasis on
Innovation
improving access.
to treatments.
Remains to be seen.
How it all shakes out.
But they're definitely watching closely.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about some specific
Drugs
drug developments.
that have been making headlines
Ozempic
originally for type 2 diabetes and obesity.
is showing some
Potential benefits.
beyond its original purpose.
Studies are indicating it could reduce the risk of
Heart attacks.
strokes.
Addictions even.
It's pretty interesting.
But like all drugs, there are
Side effects.
potential side effects.
Nausea, stomach pain.
It's a good reminder that every treatment decision involves
Weighing the risks and benefits.
carefully.
Always.
And then there's that new
Obesity drug.
from Novo Nordisk.
It's showing impressive weight loss.
But not a lot of information about,
Safety.
long-term safety.
This highlights how important it is to be thorough.
With research,
Before we just start using a new drug widely,
patients need to know about
the benefits and the risks.
before they make a decision.
Absolutely.
Let's switch gears again and talk about
The financial side.
the financial side of things,
The IPO market has been a bit of a roller coaster lately.
Some disappointments have made investors.
A little more cautious.
What's going on?
Analysts are saying, be careful.
Okay.
Especially after Venture Global's IPO didn't quite meet expectations.
So investors are
Scrutinizing deals more carefully.
It's not just about jumping on the
IPO bandwagon.
yeah, they're looking for more,
Substance.
not just hype.
They want to see real potential.
Okay, and speaking of investments,
Private equity.
private equity.
It's playing a bigger and bigger role in healthcare.
It's definitely a hot topic.
There are definitely two sides to this.
Some people say
That private equity brings in much needed capital,
innovation,
drives innovation,
but others worry about
profits.
profits over patients.
Yeah. Right. Like, is patient care taking a back seat?
Former FTC chair Lena Khan
She's been vocal about this.
expressed some concerns about private equity.
Its impact on the U.S. health system.
She's calling for more
Scrutiny.
scrutiny of their practices.
Yeah, transparency is important.
It's a complex issue.
It is.
We need to make sure that any investment in healthcare,
Ultimately benefits patients.
in the end, that's what matters.
Absolutely.
Let's finish this segment with a couple of,
Noteworthy cases
noteworthy cases and events.
that have been in the news.
The Texas Children's Hospital data breach case.
It took an interesting turn.
What happened?
The charges against the surgeon.
Who is accused of illegally accessing
And sharing private medical records.
relating to gender transition treatments for minors.
Were dismissed.
Wow.
It's a complicated case.
It raises a lot of questions about,
Patient privacy.
especially when it comes to sensitive information.
Absolutely.
How do we balance protecting patient data with ensuring access to care?
That's the question.
It also touches on the whole.
Transgender healthcare debate.
Yeah, which is so.
Politicized.
We need clear guidelines,
That protect both privacy and access to care.
for sure.
It's a tough one.
And finally, let's head over to the
Cleveland Clinic.
Cleveland Clinic.
I've got a couple of initiatives that caught my eye.
Okay, what are they doing?
One is a program to give clothes to patients when they're discharged.
Really?
Yeah, it seems simple
But it's nice.
and a nice touch.
It shows that you're thinking about their basic needs.
It enhances the patient experience.
It's those little things that can make a big difference.
I agree.
And on a more clinical note,
They did a study.
on weight loss surgery,
They found that it can significantly reduce liver complications,
in patients with,
obesity, and cirrhosis.
so it supports the use of
Bariatric surgery.
as a treatment option.
For certain patients, yeah.
It's great to see research and innovation pushing the boundaries
Of what's possible.
in healthcare.
It gives me hope for the future.
Me too.
It's an exciting time.
It is.
A lot of challenges, but a lot of potential.
Absolutely.
Welcome back.
To the deep dive.
Let's
Keep going.
let's continue exploring today's healthcare and tech news.
Thinking back to what we were just talking about.
About AI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing to think about all the things it could do.
The possibilities
Like, I wonder
really
if-
could change everything.
Imagine, like,
Your
your own
seriously
doctor
using AI
right there in their office
to analyze your symptoms.
with incredible accuracy,
Suggest personalized treatments.
tailored to your specific needs
That's the kind of future
that we're talking about.
that these platforms
Like DigitalOcean's Gen AI.
could help create.
That's pretty exciting.
It's not just about
Diagnosing and treating AI could also revolutionize how we manage data.
patient data
Think about a system
where your medical records,
are secure,
but they follow you,
wherever you've
are
got.
accessible to any doctor you see. With your consent, of course.
That's the kind of system we need.
Absolutely.
Speaking of data,
Oh, yeah.
the Change Healthcare breach.
A stark reminder
It makes you think,
about who has access to your data.
definitely makes you think twice.
It's a wake-up call.
For the entire healthcare industry.
We need better security
More robust system.
that can withstand attacks.
This report
From the Sequoia Project.
highlights the challenges.
So managing patient consent
Data sharing.
is complicated.
We need more standardization
It's a
to make sure
nuance.
things are both secure.
And efficient.
Absolutely.
Yes, efficiency is key.
And while we're on that topic,
Value-based care?
it seems to be gaining some real momentum.
A lot of major health systems.
Embracing it.
Yeah.
Shifting to payment models.
That prioritize outcomes.
Over volume of services.
Exactly.
It's a big change.
It has the potential to transform healthcare.
Think about it.
Providers are rewarded.
For keeping people healthy.
Yeah, not just for treating them when they're sick.
That's the goal.
The promise of value-based care.
I imagine it's not easy to implement.
There are definitely challenges.
We need to make sure it's done right.
Thoughtfully.
Get the right data.
And metrics.
To measure outcomes.
Ensure quality of care.
That's essential.
Absolutely.
We can't forget about politics.
It plays a big role in healthcare.
Especially with the new administration.
There are some policy changes.
That are causing debate.
The hiring freeze at the VA?
That's one.
It's meant to curb spending.
But some are worried.
About access to care for veterans.
Yeah, and then there's the freeze on communications.
From health agencies?
Though updates to the CDC website.
No news releases from the NIH.
It's concerning.
It really is.
In this age of misinformation.
We need accurate information.
From trusted sources.
Like the CDC and NIH.
Absolutely.
It's a concerning development.
For sure.
We need to keep an eye on that.
And speaking of public health concerns.
The maternal health crisis.
Who can't ignore that?
The U.S. has a really high maternal mortality rate.
It's unacceptable.
We need to address this.
Lack of access to prenatal care.
Racial disparities in healthcare.
These are systemic issues.
We have to do better.
For mothers and families.
It's a complex issue.
But one we can't ignore.
Agreed.
Let's shift gears again.
To the pharmaceutical industry.
Always a hot topic.
Especially with a new administration.
Pharmaceutical companies are feeling
optimism
about potential policy changes.
Under President Trump.
Less focus on drug prices.
More emphasis on innovation.
That's what they're hoping for.
We'll see what happens.
Drug pricing is a major issue.
It's not going away anytime soon.
We need to find a balance.
Between encouraging innovation.
And making sure patients can afford their medications.
That's the key.
Ozempic.
The drug for diabetes and obesity.
It's showing some potential benefits.
Beyond its original purpose.
Studies suggest it could reduce the risk of heart attacks.
Strokes.
Even addictions.
Is pretty remarkable.
But we have to remember,
every medication has potential side effects.
Nausea, stomach pain.
It's always a risk-benefit analysis.
And then there's that new obesity drug.
From Novo Nordisk.
Showing impressive weight loss.
But we need more data.
On long-term safety.
Absolutely.
We can't rush the process.
Thorough research is crucial.
Before widespread use.
Patients need to be informed.
About the benefits and the risks.
I completely agree.
All right, let's talk about the financial markets.
The IPO market has been volatile.
Some recent disappointments.
Have made investors more cautious.
It seems like they're looking for more substance.
More than just hype.
They want to see a clear path to profitability.
Before they invest.
And speaking of investments.
Private equity.
It's playing a larger role in healthcare.
There are definitely two sides to this story.
Some see it as a source of capital and innovation.
Others worry about profits over patients.
Former FTC Chair Lina Khan
has expressed concerns
about the impact of private equity
on the healthcare system.
She's calling for more scrutiny.
Transparency is essential.
We need to make sure that any investment in healthcare
ultimately benefits patients.
That's what matters most.
Absolutely.
Let's wrap up this part
with a couple of noteworthy cases.
The Texas Children's Hospital case.
It's a reminder of the complexities
of patient privacy,
especially with sensitive information.
How do we balance protecting data
with ensuring access to care?
That's a difficult question.
It touches on the debate around transgender healthcare.
We need clear guidelines
to protect both privacy and access.
Now let's visit the Cleveland Clinic.
They have some interesting initiatives.
Like what?
They're giving clothes to patients when they're discharged.
That's a nice gesture.
It shows they care.
About the patient experience.
It's the little things
that make a difference.
And they did a study on weight loss surgery.
What did they find?
It can significantly reduce liver complications.
For patients with obesity and cirrhosis.
It supports the use of bariatric surgery.
As a treatment option.
For certain people.
It's exciting to see these advancements.
Pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
In healthcare.
It gives me hope for the future.
As we wrap up, I'm feeling kind of,
a mix of emotions.
Yeah. Excited about the future of healthcare, but also
a little cautious.
Cautious, yeah.
It's a lot to take in.
We're seeing these amazing advances.
That could really change things for the better.
But we're also facing some really tough challenges.
That we can't ignore.
One of the big questions for me is,
how do we make sure technology actually helps people?
That it's used ethically.
Responsibly.
We've talked about AI, data, genomics.
Powerful tools.
but we have to use them the right way.
It's not just about the technology itself.
Right.
It's about the values behind it.
The principles that guide how we use it.
We need to have these open conversations.
About the risks and benefits.
And get everyone involved.
Patients, providers, ethicists, policymakers.
Everyone has a stake in this.
And how do we make sure everyone benefits from these advancements?
Not just a select few.
We see breakthroughs in personalized medicine, gene therapy.
But they're often so expensive.
How do we make them accessible?
Affordable.
That's a big challenge.
We need to find creative solutions.
New models for funding and delivering healthcare.
Ways to encourage innovation without sacrificing affordability.
And then there's the whole issue of trust.
Trust in the healthcare system.
Yeah, it's hard these days with so much information.
Misinformation, too.
People are overwhelmed, skeptical.
How do we rebuild that trust?
I think transparency is a big part of it.
Patients need to feel heard.
Like their concerns matter.
They need access to clear, accurate information.
Providers need to be honest about the risks and benefits.
And the government needs to be transparent about its policies.
It's about working together.
Patients, providers, policymakers.
To create a healthcare system that really puts patients first.
A system that's fair and sustainable.
That's the kind of future I want to see.
Me too.
A future where technology helps us.
Empower patients.
Strengthen the human connection in healthcare.
That's what it's all about.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into healthcare and technology.
We'll be back soon with more news and insights.
To help you stay informed and engaged.
In the future of health.
Thanks for listening.